Welcome to Red Recaps. For today's video, we will be taking a recap of a unique, intriguing action movie, The Old Guard. Watch up until the end as this movie will leave you in awe. What are we waiting for? Let's get started. The movie begins in Morocco, where a woman is asked to go back on a certain mission. They went to a hotel and find two guys and calls her their boss. The woman, Andy, was hesitant to do the job, but we'll hear what the job is about. They met a suited man, Mr. Copley, in the busy streets of Morocco. They talked about a mission on saving and extracting kids, but wait, a sniper was aimed at them. What was that for? They rode a helicopter to South Sudan, where they will commence the mission. They found a fortress, where they took down the Watcher with a sniper. They break into the fortress in a stealthy fashion, bringing out the guards one by one. They found a locked dungeon and blasted open its door. As they entered the room, they got ambushed and gunned down by many men. And what? The group casually tanked the bullets and got up and beat up the guys who ambushed them. What is happening? They got shot multiple times. They eliminated every last one of them. They found a camera in the room and deduced that they were set up by Mr. Copley. Meanwhile, in Afghanistan, American troops are looking for a certain man. A man in a room fired gunshots as they breach him inside. As they are apprehending him, he slits one of the soldiers' troops. The group is in a train where they saw something in their heads, a Marine in a desert who just got slit in the throat. Are they seeing what happened in Afghanistan? Let's find out. They have decided that Andy will come retrieve her while the rest will find Copley. The comrades of the woman who got slit visited her. To their surprise, the troop's wound is miraculously gone. Meanwhile, in London, Mr. Copley told a man who was leading a biological convention what happened to Andy's group. The man told Mr. Copley they need blood and tissues to examine them. The woman who got slit, Niall, has been set off to be examined. But out of nowhere, Andy retrieved her and took her. Niall tried to escape from Andy and Andy shot her in the head, but the wounds completely healed like nothing happened. What is going on? Niall stabbed Andy, but the same thing happened. They are built the same. Andy told Niall that she led a group of immortal soldiers. They reached an army plane full of drugs to go to France. Andy told Niall to join their team, but Niall was reluctant. Niall is still confused, and so are we. While Andy is asleep, Niall tied her in the plane, threatening the pilot to land the plane. She got guts. Meanwhile, Andy has other plans. She shot the pilot. Niall, who is disgruntled, untied Andy because she knew how to fly a plane. But Andy told the pilot to play dead in Russian. The pilot is still alive. She's got some serious wits. The two women fought in the plane. Both were gifted fighters. Niall, reluctant to give up, but still lost to our Andy. Andy got Niall's respect as they spoke things up. They landed in France, on a secluded house, where they found the whole team. They told Niall that the last immortal was found in 1812, and the guy even fought Napoleon and living legend. And after 200 years, they found another in Niall. Whoa! It's getting interesting. Two of them, Nikki and Joe, even fought in the Crusades and killed each other. Andy revealed that she was the oldest one. They told Niall that one of them has actually died, but they don't actually know why. Niall dreamt in the middle of the night, another woman, locked up under the sea, kept drowning but always bring up to life. The group revealed that it was Andy's first partner centuries ago, Queen. The two of them got tortured over and over again in the past. Queen was inserted on a metal chamber and was thrown in the sea. Queen spent 500 years kept drowning and locked up in that metal cage. As Niall questioned things, they are being surrounded by the army. The army found and captured two of them. Andy insisted Copley wants all of them and fought the soldiers. Badass Andy took them one by one, forcing Copley to retreat. She's a one-man army. As Niall and Booker came to a group with Andy, two of their friends are captured. As they're captured, Joe and Nikki, both romantics, kissed each other. Both of them are quite calm as they're transferred on a plane orchestrated by Copley himself. Andy, Booker, and Niall went to an old cave to temporarily camp. Meanwhile, Nikki and Joe got sent to meet Mr. Merrick, the young CEO who talked to Copley earlier. Mr. Merrick aggressively stabbed Joe to witness their immortality firsthand. They took DNA samples from both of them to save humanity. Booker told Niall that he has no idea why they are immortal. Booker told Niall the consequences of being immortal. Andy went into a store and revealed that her wounds are not healing. What happened to Andy's immortality? The store lady helped her treating her wounds. Mr. Merrick continued their tests to Joe and Nikki. Andy talked to Niall about their past. She still held herself accountable to what happened to Queen. She promised to bring back her soldiers. The three of them arrived in England loaded with weapons. Niall refused to help them as she didn't want to kill her own people. Andy gave her the go signal, gave her a gun, and let her go to see her family. Andy and Booker went inside Mr. Copley's house, and as they cornered Mr. Copley, Booker shot Andy in the back. What is going on here? Booker set them all up. Booker told Copley that he wants to discover what they really are. Booker realized that Andy wasn't healing anymore, and now he is regretting it. Mr. Merrick arrived at the scene and apprehended the both of them. He saw that Andy was not healing anymore. Mr. Copley told Merrick that Andy can't handle the tests, that this is not what they agreed on, but Mr. Merrick insisted on continuing the trials. Both of them are reunited with Joe and Nikki as all of them were being held. Niall, realizing that Andy might be in danger, went back to Mr. Copley's. He saw Mr. Copley disgruntled and was told that they are captured. Mr. Copley revealed that all people saved by Andy and her army contributed to humanity. Copley told Niall that she was continuously bleeding. Mr. Copley led Niall to Mr. Merrick's lab. Copley wants to help Niall, but she declined. Niall infiltrated the building purposefully, got shot to take advantage of the guards. The Merrick lab was alerted that there is an intruder. Niall found Merrick, but got surrounded by the guards. Niall got into the lab where they were being held in. She gave Andy the gun and untied all of them. The band is back together. They welcomed Booker to the army as Andy continued hurting with her wound. The five of them tried to escape while taking down Merrick's army. They got blasted by the guards as Joe and Nikki got left behind. Joe and Nikki tried to regroup as Andy goes rogue, taking the army with an axe. This woman is relentless. They continued to find Merrick in the building. Andy insisted that she will go first, and just like that, they infiltrated the floor as Joe entered at the window. Andy is hurting. She's bleeding everywhere. And as Niall and Andy are talking, Merrick arrived, threatening to shoot Andy. This guy is persistent. And as Merrick pointed his gun at Andy, Andy signaled Niall to play dead, as she did to the pilot. And they axed him, and Niall pushed him through the window. That's almost a 30-story drop. Is Niall alive? They found Niall below with hundreds of broken bones, but she's immortal. Nothing can kill her. And the gang escaped all in one piece. They went to a pub, deciding whether they let Booker back in the army of Andy. Niall decided to join the team permanently. Andy talked to Booker, saying there's a consequence for Booker's actions, as they hugged it out for one last time. Mr. Copley showed the team how they affected humanity by saving countless lives. Andy told Copley that he will help them, aiding from behind. Epilogue. 6 months later, Booker was met by Queen? What an ending! What a cliffhanger! Have you enjoyed the video? Leave a comment down below if you are excited watching this video. If this movie got you intrigued, you can watch it in the links below. And don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching Red Recaps. See you in the next video.